As a kid, I'd try to guess the exact day the radio station would begin playing Christmas music. Every morning on the way to school, I'd eagerly change the radio channel, hoping that I'd hear that familiar Winter Wonderland tune. When the Christmas music finally did come on, I would listen to it faithfully until Christmas. Then, almost like a switch, December 26 would arrive, the radio station would begin playing pop music again, and the hopeful anticipation of Christmas would be forgotten until the following year. In our Christmas preparation, we usually and rightly focus on God's promise of salvation through the Incarnation. But today's readings for the second Sunday of Advent draw our attention to another reality, the second coming of Christ. Interwoven throughout these readings are themes of harmony, justice, and peace. The first reading from Isaiah proclaims that the Messiah will judge the earth with justice, and it paints a portrait of the harmony God promises at the end of time. The wolf shall be a guest of the lamb, and the baby shall play by the cobra's den. Such striking paradoxes tell us something about how we are to live in relationship with one another and God. Even the responsorial psalm declares, "Justice shall flourish in his time, and fullness of peace forever." In an age where there seems to be another mass shooting every week, or news of another climate disaster, what does it mean for us to remain faithful to God's promises of justice and peace? Today's readings call us to continue acting for justice in the midst of our waiting. This is what John the Baptist proclaims when he says, "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." The gospel passage is all about the primacy of right relationship between people and with God. Like John the Baptist, we too are invited to be a voice of one crying out in the desert, "Prepare the way of the Lord." In the ordinary moments of everyday life, we have an opportunity to begin working for this restoration of right relationship. What would it look like to cook a vegetarian meal and invite someone whom you wouldn't normally engage in conversation? Or to accompany and encourage others who are registering to vote in local elections? These everyday actions help us live in right relationship so that we can be witnesses of God's presence with us. While flipping through a news feed can feel disheartening, today's readings are a reminder that Christmas is about both the kingdom here and now and the fullness of life, justice, and peace that will come. How is God inviting you this Advent season to deeper trust in God's faithfulness? Do you remember that story about the Christmas music? Imagine if we kept listening to the music after December 26th. Like the radio station's instant switch back to its usual programming, we sometimes lose that familiar tune calling us to hopeful anticipation of Christ's coming. Instead of forgetting the joy of Christmas, perhaps we would live into the season itself, a season that reminds us to trust and hope that God is always faithful to promises of justice and peace. Are you willing to listen faithfully to that familiar tune?